something negative, which should be avoided. Discuss both viewpoints and give your opinion. So the keywords are teenage conflict, necessary, and negative. He started with the plan. So body paragraph 1 is the negative, and body paragraph 2 is necessary. So you need to discuss both viewpoints. So on the negative, he gave the topic sentence is harmful to relationship. So the way you write topic sentences is just asking the question why. Why is teenage conflict a negative thing? Because it's harmful to relationships. And now you have your topic sentence. Why is it harmful to relationships? Because it creates tension in the family. That's the supporting sentence. And an example of this is like smoking. The alternative, if there is no conflict, the result, and now this A is alternative and R is result. The alternative, if there were no conflict, you'll have happy families. And body paragraph 2, why is it necessary? Why is it necessary? Because it's important for development. Why is it important for development? Because it helps teens to form opinions. An example of this is vegetarians. An alternative, if there were no conflict, the result is an assertive adults.
Okay.
And so what he does next is he takes up this this structure, this body paragraph structure, and put it into words. He has like a sample way of introducing topic sentences. It's like this. On the one hand, those who believe teenage conflict is da 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 might argue that da 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 da. And so, and this is his way of introducing a topic sentence. If we want to use harmful to relationships in there, what should we do? On the one hand, those who believe that teenage conflict is harmful might argue that it can damage relationships between parents and their children.
So we could write toxic relationships. It could invite, no, not invite. It could make the relationship, it can make the relationships toxic. We can write it that way. Well, okay, now continue.
Yeah. This is because such disputes can create tension in the family. For example, it is quite common for young people to begin smoking at their age to impress their peers, but the resulting confrontations with parents can lead to difficulties with communication afterwards. So he uses a variety of sentence structures. So this sample essay responds to all of the banned descriptors, and that's what I hope to kind of achieve. So now he continues. If there is no in contrast, if there is no conflict between parents, there will be much greater sense of happiness among family members. This, in contrast, introduces complex structures. For example, if you say, in contrast, if there is no conflict between parents and teenagers, and you stop, the sentence won't be complete. So he doesn't use only simple sentences. He also uses complex structures to raise the points. If you want to have a band 9, band 8, band 7, band 8, you need to have a variety of sentence structures. And I've looked up many videos, and they all say the same thing. What I'm having issues with is finding the right ideas, then translating those ideas into an actual paragraph, and then the rest comes. These are the two main challenges into I think the writing task is finding quality arguments, and the second one is making them into a paragraph. So I decided to tackle each part on its own. First is this one. I want to take a subject and build a plan for both of them. Like build a plan on each build a plan on each subject. So I took a list of the writing tasks on October, the ones that were done on October, and writing in November, and try to take each subject and do a plan and plan for it. And the idea that I had is that if you like this structure, we can take. The thing is that I found it very boring to do that all by myself. I'm sitting here, finding, trying to write, come up with ideas and development them. Is this a quality idea or not? Doing a lot of practice makes perfect. Doing a lot of practice will makes it easier to come up with new ideas, or reuse old ones, and that's why I think a lot of practice in writing is very important. I've read the paragraph that you have published on Facebook.
So what do you think about that? What changes and improvements can I make?
I think it was good. But when I read this, I can rate it.
Right.
See, I can rate it depending on the band descriptors. It's easily done. I can see that each band descriptor is correctly followed. So you have there is cohesion, there is complex variety of complex structures, there is good vocabulary in there. There is everything that is required of you to have. I can find it in here, but and it's easier to grade. When I saw yours, I saw that it wasn't following a structure per se. It's like you are writing things, but just how a lot of these things are just supporting sentences to, I guess, main ideas that you have, to a main idea that you have. You haven't put any example, any alternative or something like that. And examples are important because this is a band descriptor. You use good vocabulary, and you try to link words as well. Complex structures, I do not know. I haven't analyzed it that deeply, because but what I noticed is that there is plenty of ways to write things down. I wrote something down. But if you read it, if you are not an IELTS instructor, you would understand and you like it. But if you are an IELTS instructor and you try to grade it, you will find that a lot of the best descriptors are not there. Meaning the student did not pay attention enough to the band descriptors to try to put as much as possible to raise his score. See what I'm getting at? And that's why I like this structure. I hope to practice it as much as I can to try to write at least 60% as good as this one. This one is very simple,
Right.
It sounds simple, but it's difficult to do because not always you find good examples. It's not always you find. I guess it would become example after after a lot of tries. When you look at an idea, you know that this idea can fit correctly into this plan. It can be broken down in this. I've also seen a lot of videos of common mistakes and all,
Yeah.
how to find good idea generation, and the one of the things the person thing you need to know. Um, he had a practice session, a live practice session, and asked people to give them like ideas, and he put them into two groups. One group is that you gotta first respond to the question. That's the important part. It's not always that obvious because sometimes you can use your try to exploit the idea you have, and that idea might get you off topic without you noticing. For example, um, I don't know. He gave a good example for this. Uh, why do people live alone in the cities? Why do people live alone in the cities, or something like that? And a lot of people said because of job offers, because of job offers. What else? Job offer means that is responding to a question of why do people live in cities, not why do people live alone in cities.
Right.
One of the instances of ideas that do respond to the question is like privacy and um, privacy and what else? Why do people live alone? Freedom and something like that. And he took it. He took that. He took, by for example, freedom, or he took an example of like an idea. He took that idea and tried to see, can I find a good topic sentence? Why do people value freedom or something like that? And when he tried to look for an example, he couldn't find one. And he trashed that idea because you cannot get an example for that. And I noticed that you didn't put like an example here. So the idea that you used was you should have thought of an example as well and try to include it in here. That's my take on this. I'll maybe I could do a greater analysis. I do not know if I'm I'm the right person to do this because I'm struggling as well. But I'm just giving you my proper intake on it.
Yeah, right. It's not a worry. We are always ready to improve. So I think the things that you said is the only thing that I'm missing from my essay, because I can write a lot, I can think a lot, but I do not seem to provide a proper structure to it. And yeah, to get the marks, you have to follow a structure, which I am lacking.
So yeah, this one is a good structure, I guess. The structure that you are missing is this one.
Right.
If you combine this structure with your ideas, you'll have amazing
And actually,
points.
I do have a lot of time left, because I wrote that we get approximately 40 minutes for the second writing task, right?
Yeah.
I usually complete the task in around 20 minutes. So I think
Nice.
I need to work on the structure, because I do have a lot of time, and I can,
Lucky you.
yeah. Right. I used to be very good at writing essays when I was a child, and that I think shall come as a bonus, but I need to follow a pattern that too strictly.
So this one is like effective formulas
So
for
what is this? Is it
it's not a website. It's the course that I was
okay?
uh, I can give you the course's name.
Is it
It's on
free?
Udemy. I I envy you because you're good at essay. You used to write them. I've never written a thing in my entire freaking life. I write, um, uh, emails. That's mostly what I do. And most of my English, most of my English comes from my job, basically. Well, it used to be movies and stuff like that,
Okay.
music, movies, TV shows, and all. And then when I started working, it mainly become um, technical related
Yeah.
content to my field.
Okay.
I do cybersecurity,
Okay.
and so it mainly are in here. If you can see, T is for topic sentence, S is for support and explain, E is for an example. If you follow that course, you'll find that it's useful. It's gonna give you the extra push you need
Okay. So
to
it
excel.
does it consist most of the steps for writing task one and two, or
No, actually, this is only task two. It's not task one.
okay, it is not about task one then.
Yeah, it's 6 hours of tips and tricks for task two.
Okay then. Okay, that's very helpful.
It shows you how to write, how to read the subject, what to highlight, um, how to answer properly, and how to structure,
Right.
how to use cohesion, and and having a coherent essay.
Lexical
Um,
sources as well. This is
a
good.
good
This is
way.
good.
Mhm.
This is good actually.
Yeah, I took only the main points that I needed, like an
Yeah.
example, conclusion, um, uh, uh, how to useful words and phrases for conclusion,
Alright.
proper ways to give an example, stuff like that.
Alright. This is good.
So if you are interested, we can take different um, subjects. What I was hoping to find is a partner I could work with doing this. So I take a sample subject and I try to do this structure, the BP1, BP2, body paragraph 2, and try
Alright.
to come up with questions that have topic sentences, supporting sentence, an example, maybe a second supporting sentence, and a second example, and try to put that into a paragraph. First, it's gonna be since I'm having issues with the plan, I wanted to do as much planning as possible. And later translate them into paragraphs. But I don't know if it's the correct way to do things. I'm still skeptical about that. The reason behind it is that maybe I could learn more when I do this plan and come up and start writing the paragraph
Okay.
directly to see if the way I'm writing the plan is beneficial to my writing or not. Like, can I translate it in easier? I think it's better
Okay,
to.
so first tell me when are you giving your exam? Have you booked it or have you not?
I have booked it for the 29th of November.
Okay then. So do you feel like you are practiced enough for other sections like reading, listening, and speaking?
Actually, I used to practice a lot for like the reading and listening sections.
Okay.
Um, used to like practice a lot. Um, the reading section, w- my the score that I want to have is like a 7.778. Okay, the eight is in the listening part,
Okay.
and on the sample test that I did,
Yeah.
I mainly got like a 7.5 and an 8 on the reading section. Listening, I guess 7.5, 8, sometimes 8.5, depends. Um, and so it I could use up more practice, but since on all of my trials I had above 7,
Right.
I said I need to improve something else. I need to improve my writing. That's for
Okay.
sure because I'm not gonna have this 7 on writing. That
Okay.
knowing my level, I'm never going to have the 7 with the current level I had. And so I need to make it at least a 7, and then maybe work on other stuff. The speaking part, I haven't practiced it a lot. I found a web, some guys, and I thought I forgot what's it called. Speaking IELTS topics. Uh, is this one? Or IELTS up? This one. So we took this
Okay.
part one. Wasn't part two. It was part one. We only did part one. We started with the part one. And so I told them we're gonna take this topics, and each one's gonna take a topic, and we'll respond to these questions. And the other people's gonna give their feedback, whether we answered the questions or whether we answered correctly, whether grammar was correct, or uh, did we make any mistakes, and all. And so each one of us was taking with the fluency and everything. Each one of us was taking like this a topic and answering the questions.
Right.
Childhood, clothes. It should give you. It covers most of the. It covers most of the topics.
Okay.
Um, and these are the most common questions. If you could take any topic, you'll have you'll have like at least a question, one of these.
Okay.
It also gives you time to think. So on my leisure time, I guess I'll have to take these, try to answer all of these questions to at least make sure I have ideas on the spot that I can use.
Yeah. Right.
Once I finish this, I wanted to do part two. Part two, I guess you have to speak for a minute or two,
Yeah.
so it requires more practice, I guess.
You're right.
I've been speaking for like 30 minutes. So maybe
Yeah. It is a kind of practice right now as well.
yeah. I speak a lot.
Yeah.
It's not like I know it's tricky because um I speak a lot in my field. I don't speak a lot like on daily basis, like how's the weather, how's that, how's this.
Right.
The content is fairly technical, but what I'm gonna have challenge with is like this. Talk about photography, about sports, about travel, and expect these topics, general topics, are not the ones I'm used to. Gift, family, there are a lot of things that are hobbies. These are like stuff I that you learn at school, and
Right.
I skipped that part. I don't have an academic level of
Okay, so yeah, this is good. That is good.
So are you
And
interested in
yeah, I'm actually interested, but for that I need to look upon the structure first, I guess, properly.
okay.
And this is good. This
Um,
is actually a very good idea in my opinion because this is the part where we get the least number of marks. In the task one can even achieve a band 9 if it goes well, but the task 2 is pretty jeopardy. So
what's your target score?
I'm aiming for something like 7.5 overall, or rather 8 maybe.
Yeah, the overall score
Yeah,
is easier than
right. I'm
uh
I'm I'm trying for something post 7.5, like 7.5 to 8. It does not mean that I require that band, but my required band is like 6.5 up to 7 because I'm also from technical field. I'm an engineer by profession, but still for my satisfaction and if one is going to English speaking country, then I think the best time to practice is only for the IELTS exam because we shall not be practicing later again. We will have to talk to the native people there and develop their accent if possible. So
yeah, yeah, I get you.
yeah. So
Uh,
yeah.
Regarding the structure, how do you plan your essay? Do you have a plan, or you just plan on your head and start writing? How do you
Yeah.
tackle that task?
Until now, I was doing the thing you said later. I just saw the topic and tried to stick with the topic and started writing. But now I think I was doing it all wrong. That would have been good for about a band of 6, but since I'm aiming for a higher one, I think I need to get to this because this is pretty much concise and sometimes I do not have the track of my words. Like it requires for something about 250 to I don't know 275 would be a perfect number of words, but sometimes it stretches to 350 for me.
Yeah,
So
exactly. The same thing happened to me.
right.
And so when I started, first I wanted to see whether I started with this structure, and then I found that I had like issues,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, okay, I need to gain up some confidence. What I was going to do is start writing, and I could write 250 words to 350. I noticed that I wasn't. Um, uh, I, I started writing, but I didn't know when I would stop.
Okay.
And you start writing the paragraph, and since you have no structure in mind,
Right.
you don't know whether your ideas you're gonna put them into like 100 words, 200 words, 300 words, or else. One single paragraph can take you a huge chunk, and both paragraphs won't be like equal. But so that's I started writing, and I said, okay, I can write things. It's just a matter of structure now. Now let's work on it. If you want, we could take this subject, try to work it together,
Yeah, it is a very
and
good idea actually. And I think I need to